Well, we would like to welcome everybody back here from halftime as we get set for the second half action between Lipscomb and Jacksonville State. Justin Seaman alongside Erica Plunkett. And that first half, Erica, 1-0 score. Molly Grant with the deciding goal to start, really to start the half, about 5.5 minutes in. But really it was a half that I would say for the most part was dominated by Lipscomb, as the Bisons really spent most of that half in their offensive end.
Absolutely. Lipscomb leads with shots 9-3 and shots on goal 5-2, but it seemed even larger than that. It didn't really seem like the Gamecocks had chances on goal. They had those 2 shots on goal, but they were easily saved by CJ Graham. Neither one of them seemed threatening to the Bisons, and I think if they're going to get a chance in this half, they've got to go on more runs together. You ended up with a lot of the Gamecocks offense, just one player trying to cross the field by herself. And I also didn't see them switch the field a lot, which did not work into how they were wanting to play this game.
So we'll see what adjustments Jacksonville State made at halftime, see if Lipscomb made some adjustments as well. That ball going to get down. Molly Grant trying to run it down for Lipscomb. It'll be cleared away, but it'll stay in the offensive end for Lipscomb. Lipscomb looks like they've gone back to their starting lineup. I have to double check every number, but I do see Emily Patty in the game now.
Yes, and that's a good sign for the Bisons to have her back out on the field.
So she'll be back on the left side for Lipscomb. Emily Patty, the redshirt junior from Knoxville, Tennessee, defender, and Haley Williams offsides there. Lipscomb was offside quite a few times. We were talking about it during the break, and a lot of what Jacksonville State doing is kind of trying to play a high-line defense, and Lipscomb testing that often, especially in that first half. And you know, you get a chance if you get that right ball and you get past it when you're onside, it could lead to a breakaway opportunity for the Bisons.
Jacksonville State knows Lipscomb likes to press the line no matter how the defense is playing, and so they're really trying to take advantage of that, but it's risky what they're trying to do, because if you get one ball that gets past the line that's not called offsides, Lipscomb almost 9 times out of 10 is at least going to get a shot on goal, if not a goal.
Cami Rogers made a little bit of a run there for a minute. Gets it cut off. Just underway, second half action here between these West Division newly minted rivals in Jacksonville State and Lipscomb. Of course, Jacksonville State, as we mentioned in the first half, just coming into the ASUN after years being in the OVC. This is the 5th overall meeting between Lipscomb and Jacksonville State. Last time these two teams played was in 2019. Lipscomb has won the last 2 meetings. The other thing we didn't mention, Erica, was before the loss in their last game to Eastern Kentucky, Lipscomb had rolled off 4 straight wins, and not just 4 straight wins, there were 4 straight shutouts.
Lipscomb started the season really hot, 4-0 in the month of August, and then went 3-3 and 1 in September. But they really bounced back at the end of September and into October. So far in October, they are 2-1.
That one headed back into the offensive zone. McFadden and Katya Hanger holding the line strong back defensively for Lipscomb. Here's Patti. Tries to get it up to Molly Grant. Of course, Molly Grant, the lone goal scorer now. Lipscomb, that's one of those opportunities. Again, Lipscomb going to keep testing that back line for Jacksonville State.
And the flag did not come up on that play, so had it been a few feet closer to Molly Grant, she would have been onside, and it would have been a one-on-one Molly Grant against the Gamecocks goalie, Morgan Lurch.
Another ball that's onside. Grant trying to fight it through the defender there, and now Grant going to run over the Jacksonville State player, trying to get a number down there on her. See who she ran over. I believe that's number 2 for the Gamecocks, Lauren Hooten.
Molly Grant is not, she's not the tallest player out there, but she's 5'9", and she brings a lot of size to the Bison's offense that she's formidable to go up against if you're a defender.
Here's Carapaza. No, excuse me, that's Cammie Rogers. Trying to get into the box, centers one in, just missing Williams. That's about the third time that we've seen a center into the box with Williams bearing down. That time it wasn't in the air, it was kind of just scooting along the ground, where if she had just kind of touched with it, that was going to be a tough save for Lurch.
You mentioned we've seen it several times tonight, and one of those times Lipscomb is bound to get the timing right. And it should be a caution to the Gamecocks. They should learn from the first half and from that run that they need to mark up, because these players do a really good job of sneaking behind you if you're on defense.
Goal kick for Lurch here. Yeah, we've seen from Lipscomb when they've been dangerous in the box, they've been dangerous. On the other side for the Gamecocks, they've tried to get some of those crossers in, but there just hasn't been anybody there to receive them.
I can only think of one cross that the Gamecocks had. We mentioned it earlier, no corner kicks for them, but there was one cross that got in, and they had a decent chance on it between Naima Prescott-Bettles and Riley Kaku.
Referee going to change the call there. There was a little battle between a couple of players and Jacksonville State. Now going to be a discussion between Gamecocks. I believe that is number 15, Lele Lantine.
They do let her get away with just a caution this time, but in conference play, Jacksonville State already has 4 yellow cards in the year, which is first in the conference.
Here's McFadden. She'll send one into the box. Headed out. Church is there. She tries to turn and get Emanuela Shirt and get a shot in, but off to the right side. But McFadden, I mean, you get it anywhere inside midfield, she's going to put a good kick into the box.
And it's easy to see why she was Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. I would think that she would have a chance at being Defensive Player again this year if it were not for her teammate Shelby Kraft, who has come in and brought her talent. So there might be some competition on the Bison's team of who is ASUN Player of the Year, which is a testament to how good Coach O'Brien has made his defense.
Well, don't forget about Katia Hanger. I mean, I think she is underrated. Definitely not on our team, but maybe if you're talking about McFadden and Kraft, who McFadden has been that ASUN Defensive Player of the Year. Kraft was the preseason ASUN Defensive Player of the Year selection. But Katia Hanger, who's got the ball now, I think is just as talented back there and really holds the line well for Lipscomb.
Absolutely. She's been very consistent for the Bisons. And the thing that impresses me most is Shelby Kraft gets that in.
Lipscomb was at a player offside as Cammie Rogers had slipped offside.
But yeah, the thing that impresses me most with Katia Hanger is we have seen her just come into her own. There's been many a time where it's been her and the striker by themselves, and she wins. It seems like 9 times out of 10. She has a great slide tackle, does a really good job of not fouling but still playing physical, which is a very fine line if you're playing center back.
Tried to get it to Williams, nicely cut off. Now Patti able to keep the ball alive for Lipscomb, and it falls into Williams' hands. Now she's going to touch it down to Cammie Rogers. She's onside. She'll center it. The ball floating around in the box. Goes over cross in the box, and now it's kicked out. But that ball, Jacksonville State's got to be careful. That ball is just floating around a little too much inside the box.
And going back a few plays, that was almost a bad touch by C.J. Graham. Logan McFadden, of course, is able to get over there and get it out of bounds. But if you're a Bisons fan, it was really good to see Emily Patty make the move that she did. knowing that, you know, she's coming back from injury, but she trusts her ankle enough to be able to make those moves and make those plays.
Jacksonville State will have a throw in deep in the offensive end. Kraft, though, nice little move to get around the offensive player. And a great ball there by Emmanuel Skirt. Here's Kraft. Kraft will put one to Grant. Grant will take a shot just outside the box. I think that might have got deflected by a defender, and so Lurch able to come over, but talk about a quick counter by Lipscomb.
And there Grant was testing the line yet again, and she had the advantage in that case. And so
under 35 minutes to go here in this one. Lipscomb, the lone goal came at about the 5.5-minute mark of the first half. Molly Grant scoring it. Jacksonville State yet to have a shot on goal here in the second half. They had 2 shots in the first half. They've got 3 total, but just 2 on goal. Nice pass in the middle. Lipscomb trying to touch it down to Rogers. They do. She'll take a shot, left-footed, and just goes wide, but a great look by Cammie Rogers. So Lipscomb threatening again here. Just over 10 minutes gone in the second half. That ball airmailed out of play. Will be Gamecocks ball. Again, Lipscomb and Jacksonville State separated by 2 points in the standings right now, so this is a big one. The Gamecocks with 1 point in the West Division, Lipscomb with 3. Lipscomb behind Central Arkansas and Eastern Kentucky, who have 6 points. Those 2 teams are playing tonight. That ball getting through. There's Grant, and she'll tap it in. They're going to say she was offsides. So Molly Grant was offside. That ball was tapped around. It looked to me like it was tapped, and then she ran around and touched it. That would be the only question I had.
I felt like she was on sides on that play. I'm very confused by that because it was touched by
I saw it being touched by a defender, and I thought, once again, we don't have instant replay here, but it looked like she was onside on the touch. And then after it was touched, it wasn't handled well by the defender, and that's what let Grant get around. So
it was a dangerous touch by Brianna Eads, who kicked it outside. Yes, that's your instinct normally as a defender. As Cammie Rogers comes in and is eventually cut off, your instinct as a defender is to kick it to the outside. You don't want the ball in the middle. But based upon where Morgan Lurch was, Brianna Eads should have just kicked it forward. Straight up the field rather than tried to kick it out where no defender or goalie could get to it. So I'm shocked that that goal did not count for the Bisons, but Jacksonville gets a lucky break, and they need to start capitalizing on this. Yes, there's still 32 minutes left, but we've seen nothing so far that has been even remotely dangerous to the Bisons.
Just haven't had much of a threat on the offensive side so far from Jacksonville State, and you get the feeling, I'm not saying it's accurate, but you get the feeling that Lipscomb scores another goal. This is game, set, match. Lipscomb pressing again. They'll get it in the middle. There's Grant, and just misses wide. Looks like she's a little frustrated with herself on that one. Had another golden opportunity to make this a 2-goal game.
Those are the shots where sometimes you just feel like you're too wide open. But yet another great cross from Haley Williams to Molly Grant. It's been back and forth. Both of them have been able to make good crosses, which is what makes it so dangerous.
Lauren Lancaster will check in for Jacksonville State. Kicked out. Katya Hanger take it herself. Haley Williams trying to run it down for the Bisons, and now it's going to be a foul against Williams. But again, nothing easy for Jacksonville State in the defensive end, just trying to get it out.
Absolutely not. You saw the aggression from Haley Williams as she ran down the side of that field, I believe against Brianna Eads. And even though it seemed like Brianna Eads had a step on Haley Williams met her at the ball at the exact same time.
Good touch pass wide. Lipscomb with some space into the middle, and that's cleared away, but it'll be a corner kick for the Bisons. Really, again, you see 4 Bisons running in sync on the attack for the crosser in the middle, and Jacksonville State clears it, but Lipscomb will get the corner kick. This is the 4th corner kick, I believe, of the game for the Bisons.
And Allie Dunn will be taking it. They're not giving her a short option this time. Emmanuel Shirk in the box.
When headed out, trying to follow it up is Dunn. She sends it back in, a little header there, and that's got to be a diving save. Wasn't much on that header from Molly Grant, but it was going towards the left corner, and Lipscomb had a lot of players in from the corner kick that were pushing in, and Lurch has to dive to make the grab.
Most notably, Logan McFadden, who comes up on those corner kicks. It's important for the defenders to make sure they mark her. She almost got a foot on that ball to kick it past Morgan Lurch. Great save by Morgan Lurch for Jacksonville State, but I really loved the cross that Allie Dunn and Shelby Kraft had on the right side of the box that set up that initial cross in.
Here's Patty with the throw in. Shelby Kraft handles it. Tries the give and go cut off, but Lipscomb has been probably the more physical team as well. Here's Cammie Rogers. She'll try to sneak one through, but unable to get it. Anybody playing with her there that time.
If I were watching this game right now, not knowing the score, I would think that Lipscomb is the team behind. They seem to be playing with more energy. They want this second goal right now more than Jacksonville State wants their first goal.
I think that's a great point because you just see the urgency from Lipscomb.
And I think that started with Coach O'Brien at the beginning of the season. He knows that his team has some very strong defenders. No one doubts the back line of Patty McFadden, Hanger, and Karapaza, along with Shelby Kraft, the defensive mid who drops down, plus CJ Graham in goal. He wanted to see more offense, and he did.
No foul called there. Emmanuel Shirk goes down along with the Jacksonville State defender, but you see the referee kind of say they were sort of even spot there. Maybe just got their feet tangled up.
I believe he might have played advantage, but inevitably did not work to Lipscomb's advantage because that ball was quickly stopped by Morgan Lurch. It didn't really settle after that initial
Yeah, but you think the
foul.
spot of that, it would be an advantage with a foul regardless if you're moving towards the goal because you get a free kick there. That's a pretty good spot. Jacksonville State now under 30 minutes to go. Second half action. They've got to get on the move here. Get something working offensively. They just have one shot this second half.
And that's so atypical for this team. We mentioned how strong they have been. They're currently in conference. Their shot percentage is second. And overall on the season, they are fourth in the conference in shots.
Lipscomb offside. That's either the 9th or the 10th. I'll see if the stats update to number 10, but
I believe that is number 10.
number 10 it is. It did just update. 10th offsides call by against Lipscomb.
And it has to
They're
be
definitely
frustrating.
trying to push the envelope. That's for sure. And again, you would think, though, you would see that more on a team that's like desperation, trying to get something working in the offensive end, who's down in the game. But Lipscomb, with that 1-0 lead, is continuing to press.
We've seen the emphasis on defense for Jacksonville State, which it doesn't work when you don't have a lead or at least have a tie.
Here's Patty. Goes nice pass cross by Cammie Rogers, getting it over to the left side, and Rogers earns a corner kick for Lipscomb. So that will be the fourth. Correction earlier, I said it was the fourth earlier. This will be the fourth corner kick.
I do not believe that Jacksonville State can win this game if they don't at least earn a corner on the Bison side of the field. That to me does not show an equal distribution of attack from the Gamecocks, and so I think they really just need to focus on getting the ball onto Lipscomb's side of the field, because we haven't seen them do that pretty much this entire second half.
Here's Olivia Carapaza now in the corner for Lipscomb. She'll send it long right towards the goal. That one headed out by Jacksonville State right near the corner of the goal post. There's Cammie Rogers trying to sneak it past a defender. Carapaza will send it towards the goal, and Lurch will have to make a save on it. 14th shot by Lipscomb. They've outshot Jacksonville State 14-3.
Great awareness by Carapaza to stay up there for that chance.
That one a little dangerous there. It gets past McFadden. She has to play it maybe a little harder than she would like back to C.J. Graham, but out of harm's way. And you get the sense, too, that, quite frankly, if Jacksonville State's going to find the equalizer, it could come on a broken play, something like that. We just haven't seen the offensive structure getting it in the offensive end where they've been able to maintain enough possession. That's what I would think if I'm Coach O'Brien. I'm more talking to my defenders about is let's just don't do anything that kind of sets up Jacksonville State for a broken play.
Well, in that play that nearly gave them a chance, Naima Prescott-Beckles, she was by herself, but she almost had a chance. And so Jacksonville State still is not getting numbers up, but they might get lucky.
Well, and as dominant as Lipscomb has been in this game, it still is just that one goal advantage. So you've got to keep that in the back of your mind. At any point in time, Jacksonville State, one wrong move by a defender, one slip by a defender or something, and we could be talking about a tie game. We're also reaching the point here in this second half where I think we're going to start to see some subs starting to come in too. Manuela Shirk for the Bisons. Good footwork, shot on goal, and that will slide into the arms of Lurch. But a nice move there by Shirk to get a good look.
I believe she was looking for the pass, but based upon how she was defended, had to make a quick move. Still a good job by Emmanuel Shirk to get that shot off, to get it on goal, and to continue to apply the pressure. Molly Grant's going to have to watch because right now she is currently offsides.
Nice header there by McFadden. Midfield, a little room for Allie Dunn. Williams able to get past. Trying to get a player back on side. Now into the box, left foot into the back corner of the goal, and Lipscomb takes a 2-0 lead off the leg of Haley Williams.
That was a beautiful shot by Haley Williams. That wasn't what she wanted to do with it. She was looking for Molly Grant further on the outside, but Molly Grant just couldn't get back on sides. The defense was moving a whole lot slower than Molly Grant wanted to move. And Haley Williams was able to put on a move, take that left-footed shot, and nail it into the back of the net. Morgan Lurch could do nothing. That was just perfectly executed by Haley Williams.
Really nice shot by Haley Williams, and that's that second goal. You could tell Lipscomb was just hungry to get another goal here in this second half. They've been pressing all game long, and it comes with 22 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second half, and Lipscomb takes a 2-goal lead. And as I said earlier, that is a huge goal because Jacksonville State, again, we have just not seen them threatening on offense, and really it just seemed that their only chance was to have some sort of a broken play. We'll see if they can respond, but now it's not a 1-goal deficit, it's now 2.
And that was Lipscomb's 15th shot of the game, compared to only 3 for the Gamecocks. None of those 3 for the Gamecocks have come in the second half, so they haven't had even a chance in the second half.
Now in the box, and It'll be Jacksonville State ball.
That was mishandled by Morgan Lurch, but anytime you have someone on offense kicking anywhere near the goalie who's down, they're going to call it. They want to keep the goalie safe. So the right call made there, but nearly another chance for the Bisons. The setup was still nearly perfect. Haley Williams did a really good job. Molly Grant did a great job of staying onside for that cross.
So Haley Williams scores in the 67th minute, 67 minutes, 54 seconds. Just pretty much a little over an hour after the scoring got underway from Molly Grant.
And Lipscomb's going to have another chance here. Shelby Kraft had beaten her defender on the right side of the field, and so they had nothing to do. When you're faced with a player like Shelby Kraft, there's very little you can do sometimes, and they just grabbed onto the jersey. Lipscomb's giving time to set up deep.
Kraft battling there.
Great turn by Emmanuel Shirk. Cami Rogers, I thought
Just
she was
offside.
on.
Yeah, that
Just
was
one
it,
half
to
step.
me, it looked almost as if they were even there.
And it's really hard to tell from our angle. We're not looking at the line straight on, so I know the refs have quite a challenge keeping up with who's on and off sides.
It's a good turnaround, Isabella Spray. Let's see what Jacksonville State can do. There's still time in this game, but they've got to start, you would think, taking a few more chances in the offensive end.
We've been harping on the lack of offense from the Gamecocks, but credit to the Gamecocks defense. I am shocked this is only a 2-0 game for Lipscomb. They have played to get Lipscomb off sides, and they've done so and been pretty aware of where they need to be to make that happen. So
Looked like a handball there, and it is. Tried to get away with it, looked like, but the official did see it, and so it'll be a free kick here, and we'll see if it is. It's going to be Logan McFadden. And
we saw some more intensity from Lipscomb on these free kicks in the first half, but now that they have a 2-0 lead, they're more than happy to take that time off the clock here, 18.5 minutes
McFadden putting that one pretty much on goal.
We've seen Logan McFadden nail some pretty impressive shots, so I wouldn't put anything past her.
Under 20 minutes to go, second half. Molly Grant with the first goal. Haley Williams gets goal number 2 here in the second half on a beautiful shot. Went off the left foot into the back corner, and now we're going to get another offsides call.
You hear a lot of frustration with the Lipscomb fans. Coach O'Brien comes out to talk to the referee. I'm very confused by that call. It seemed to be called very late, and
that is number 12. 12 offsides calls for Lipscomb, none for Jacksonville State. Again, Lipscomb has outshot Jacksonville State 15-3 so far. Jacksonville State had 2 shots in the first half. They've only had 1 shot here in the second half and no shots on goal. Olivia Carapazza going to set up for this free kick. That one headed back towards the goal. Took almost a funny hop. Lurch has to jump on top of it there. That was almost a picture-perfect look for Lipscomb.
Logan McFadden almost gets another goal.
Here's Shelby Kraft, left side. Lipscomb has not backed off the gas pedal yet. They are still pressing hard. And again, if you didn't know the score, you would think again that Lipscomb is the team trailing. Here's another look, but Lipscomb going to be offside. That ball bounces off the crossbar. but the whistle blew just before.
These offsides calls have been very late, and I know that's getting frustrating for the Bisons and Coach O'Brien.
Lipscomb will have the throw in.
Checking in for the Bisons, number 10, Grace Oliver, number 13, Sky Bond, number 20, Noah Gifford, number 22, Shadia Valenzuela.
Coach
Lipscomb bringing
O'Brien
in, 4.
replaces the whole offense.
Yep.
And all that's going to do is give them some fresh legs and further hinder Jacksonville State's attempts to try to get up the field. We aren't seeing a whole lot of controlled passing from Jacksonville State. They're just trying to get the ball out of their territory. And Lipscomb has been winning those 50-50 balls.
And right now you've got every Jacksonville State player in the defensive end. I mean, and we're not talking about just a couple forwards hanging up near the midfield. They are down low for Jacksonville.
And that's allowing players like Olivia Carapazza, Logan McFadden, Emily Patty to all come up and get a chance. As that Patty has the ball, sends that one in, and it's just outside. But the Bisons are dangerous enough with the players they have on offense. Even now with their subs, you have Sky Bond and Summer Elmore and Shadia Valenzuela.
Grace Oliver, Noah Ganthier as well in there.
Exactly. You don't need to have the pressure of their defense, who also is quite capable of scoring goals as well.
Under 15 to go. Lipscomb with a nice run on it. Chance on the right side. They move over. What a touch pass! Lipscomb scores again as Sky Bond puts it in the back of the net, and it's a 3-0 game.
The defense lost Grace Oliver on the right side of the field, and she made a great run to get a foot on that ball, dribble it up the field, and cross it into Sky Bond. Great job also by Grace Oliver for being unselfish and getting it to her teammates. So many times you have the goalie running at you. It really was a one-on-one Grace Oliver versus Morgan Lurch, but she didn't go for the goal. She saw her open teammate and knew that would be an easy shot for Sky Bond. Grace Oliver gets the assist, and Lipscomb gets their third goal.
Time of the goal, 75 minutes, 42 seconds, and Lipscomb running away with this one now with under 15 to go. Lead at 3-0. You know, we talked about there's been so many times in this game alone where Lipscomb has had those runs and the crossers in the middle, and they just missed. That time it was perfect, in sync, and I think maybe dinner may be on Sky Bond for Grace Oliver after that one.
Absolutely, and now you kind of feel, you finally see here some urgency from the Gamecocks, but it's probably going to be a little too late.
Yeah, a little too late for the Gamecocks. We just have not seen any sustained offense from Jacksonville State. Good touch there. No whistle by the official. Here's Noah Ganthier. She'll send a ball in, getting past, and in the box again is Lipscomb. This one's going to be taken away, though, by Jacksonville State, as Grace Oliver again getting loose in the box. Under 13 to go, second half. 3-0 your score. Lipscomb had a 4-game winning streak snapped against Eastern Kentucky. They want to get back in the winning ways, and also they probably want to do it shutout style. They had 4 straight wins in a row, all shutouts, before losing 2-1 to Eastern Kentucky last time out on the road.
And not allowing a shot in the second half is a pretty good way to try to keep a shutout in place.
Lipscomb going to be back at it again on Sunday afternoon. I'll be back here with you to call it on YouTube. Here's a shot in the middle. Here's Valenzuela trying to turn. I'll be back here. Erica Plunkett will not be back here on Sunday. Going to take a little trip. Good for you. But Lipscomb will be taking on North Alabama on Sunday. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff. Nice play by Emily Patty there. Been impressed with Emily Patty. We didn't see her in the first half. You mentioned it. Kind of coming off a little bit of an injury, but hasn't looked hindered here. Now, she did just take a tumble there. We'll see if she pops up quickly. She does.
And it's good to get to see her bounce up like nothing happened, take those hits, make those turns.
Under 12 to go. Lipscomb in no hurry here on this free kick. Here's Olivia Carapaza.
Seems Jacksonville State finally gets somewhat of a chance getting it deep into Lipscomb territory for the first time tonight.
You got to get some players in the offensive end, though. Nobody down there now. They'll send one into the box, crossing it, trying to get a turn, and unable to do so.
You mentioned those lucky plays that they might have to take advantage on. There was a couple bad touches from the Lipscomb defense that we don't typically see that almost gave Jacksonville State a chance right in front of the goal.
Brogan
One-on-one
Burrow,
with CJ
yeah, Brogan
Graham.
Burrow trying to get something in there. Also, Safana Dean, who tried to get a turn in the middle of the box, but Lipscomb now will have possession. 10 minutes left in this one. Lipscomb, pretty dominating performance to this point. 3-0 advantage. Molly Grant scored the first goal. It was 1-0 at halftime. Now 2 second-half goals, one by Haley Williams, the other by Sky Bond on a beautiful pass by Grace Oliver. Touched out of bounds by Lipscomb. Referee calling, not exactly sure.
I believe that might have been a handball, but
oh.
I thought it was a foul actually on Emmanuela Shirk as she gets knocked to the ground, a little slow to get up, walking gingerly on her left knee that's already in a brace.
Jacksonville State trying to put some pressure on here. Nice move on the left side, getting through. Is there a foul? Yes, it's going to be a penalty kick. So a foul on Lipscomb in the box will give Jacksonville State a penalty kick here with 8:35 to go second half. So Jacksonville State, opportunity here late in this one to try to get on the board and maybe get back into this game. Trying to see what number that is for Jacksonville State. It looks like it's 28, number 8. So it's Kylie Wells. And she scores. CJ Graham went one way, the ball went the other way, and that's how it goes sometimes on those penalty kicks. And Jacksonville State gets on the board, so it won't be a shutout for Lipscomb, and now a little life in the Gamecocks.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just so frustrating as a defender. You make that play 2 feet to the right, and it's not a penalty kick. It's just a free kick. That's still a dangerous chance, but it's just not quite the same.
Now Lipscomb will draw the foul. So a big goal for Jacksonville State. We thought if there was going to be a goal, it was going to be on, I'm not going to say a fluky play, but something similar to that. But, hey, anything you can get, and now Jacksonville State, they've got to hurry, though. Still down by 2 goals. Here's Shadia Valenzuela, and that ball gets stopped by Lurch, but she does a very good job. If she can maintain control in the box, when she turns, she can get some speed on the ball.
It's easy to see why Coach O'Brien loves her style of play and loves how she energizes this team. And she almost made it 3-goal margin for Lipscomb yet again. Beautifully placed, and it was really hard for Morgan Lurch to handle, even though she was in the right position to make that stop. It bounced out of her hands, and she had to jump back on that very quickly. A high-powered ball from Shadia Valenzuela, even from distance.
Jacksonville State a little re-energized after that goal, but is it a little too late? Approaching 7 minutes to go. Jacksonville State does have a couple of subs wanting to check in. Not going to let them on that. Lipscomb will maintain possession. Centering pass. Great ball there. Noah Ganthier was in the box 2-on-1, but Lipscomb will earn another corner kick.
And they're going to take their time in setting it up. They're having a discussion of who's going to take it.
Looks like Grace Oliver's the one heading over there.
License on the corner kick.
Olivia Carapaza and Emily Patty, who have typically been your corner takers for the season, they stay further out.
And that's going to go off the hand, I believe. Jacksonville State, though, no time to lose. They're going to have to quickly try to move this ball. Mentioned Lipscomb next action against their opponent coming up on Sunday, North Alabama. Next action for Jacksonville State will also be North Alabama, but it will be on October 22nd, next Friday night. So, correction. Their next action is Sunday against Eastern Kentucky. So, then they will play North Alabama next Friday night. So, both these teams playing the Thursday, Sunday. Christy Jones will check in for Lipscomb.
Lipscomb seems very much in control of this one with just 5 minutes left and a 2-goal lead as they continue to hold possession. So if they're able to hold on, they're getting closer to that first place in the West. The next 2 games are at home. Lipscomb doesn't want to leave this field again unless it's with an ASUN trophy. So they would love to get 2 more wins, and the crucial game is really going to be against Central Arkansas, who has been so dominant this season. A new team. Lipscomb hasn't faced them in conference play before, so that's going to be a challenge, but I think Coach O'Brien and this team are ready for it. 2 consecutive games shooting over 15 shots, even in their loss, shooting 19 shots. Tonight they are at 18, 9 of them on goal, so 50% on goal percentage, which is fantastic and the exact thing that he was looking for at the beginning of the season. When injuries happened, there seemed to be a holdup on the offense, and so Lipscomb was relying a whole lot more on their defense to get those games, and there's a couple losses to Pepperdine and then Vanderbilt where they hit that slump, and now they've really seemed to bounce back and be the dominant team that's a 2-time ASUN champion.
You mentioned Central Arkansas. They're in a big battle tonight, and I can update you with that one. First half action, 42 minutes gone in the first half. Central Arkansas 2, Eastern Kentucky 1. And again, both those 2 teams tied with 6 points in the West Division. Under 4 to go. Cleared out by the Gamecocks. Here's Ganthier, back to Kraft. She'll try to send one a little wide left.
And why not take those shots if you're Shelby Kraft? You've scored from that distance before, just a few days ago, and it's a good way to eat some time off the clock. That took about 10 seconds off of the 3:20 that's left.
Interesting in that Central Arkansas Eastern Kentucky game, 9 shots for Eastern Kentucky, 2 goals on 4 shots for Central Arkansas. Under 3 to go. Now Lipscomb, no problem just trying to kill the ball to the other end to take some time. Lurch will try to send it back towards midfield. Slips through. And now Graham, you would think, will come up and play this. She will. She'll take her time, I would imagine. Olivia Carapazzo will send it deep as well. Lipscomb onside. They'll touch, get past the goalkeeper, and that's going to be a foul, and that's going to be a penalty kick for Lipscomb. Lurch came out and threw her body at
I believe that was
Christy Jones. And Christy Jones tripped up, so she will earn the penalty kick.
And Morgan Lurch also gets a yellow card off of that. You don't often see the goalie get charged for the foul, but if you're strictly going for the player, which seemed to be what was happening there, she didn't get a hand on the ball, just knocked down Christy Jones, and is now giving the Bisons a chance to get their 4th goal of the night.
So they just gave up a penalty kick. See if they can get it back now. Here's Christy Jones. Slow approach, and she will score the goal. Kind of a little bit of a delay on the approach, almost kind of faked one way and then poked it to the right. Not a lot of speed on that shot, but it gets the job done nonetheless.
Great job by the Bisons to continue to attack and continue to respond. It sometimes can be easy if you get up to just sort of lose your momentum, not continue to attack as aggressively as you have been. And you need to practice and prepare, even if you don't need to play as hard as Lipscomb has played all game long, you need to prepare for the games where you do. The Central Arkansas game here in a couple weeks is going to be a very tough challenge for the Bisons. If you're a Bisons fan, you might want to go turn on the Central Arkansas game after this one gets done in the next couple of minutes. You can go to Central Arkansas's website and watch that to start filling out the Bears, who will come up here to Lipscomb next weekend for the ASUN regular season finale.
So Lipscomb gets back the goal they gave up on a penalty kick. They get a penalty kick of their own, and looks like they're going to cruise to a 4-1 victory and stop the 1-game losing streak. And they will improve to 3-2 all time against Jacksonville State. There's another ball dangerous in the box. Lipscomb, while improving to 3-2 all time against Jacksonville State, will have won the last 3.
1 minute remaining in the half for 1 minute.
So Lipscomb going to improve to 10-4-1 on the year, but more importantly 5-2 in the ASUN. Jacksonville State going to drop to 6-8-2 and 2-4-1 in the ASUN. Can't say enough about just the offensive onslaught we've seen from Lipscomb in this one. 19 shots, 10 of those on goal. And Lipscomb with 4 goals in this one. Jacksonville State was close to being shut out, but a foul in the box gave them a penalty kick where they were able to at least scratch one on the board, but this one was really never in doubt, as Lipscomb will get the win over Jacksonville State. Impressive performance, Erica, from this Bison's team.
Absolutely. This is the team that we knew they could be at the beginning of the season. They've continued to fight through injuries, and this is a team that has just fantastic chemistry from everyone, the top of the depth chart to the bottom, which is why it works out so well even when there's injuries. These players are able to come in and contribute You see them all coming out there and giving Christy Jones a huge hug for getting that penalty kick goal. They want to continue to be a big family here on Lipscomb's team, and they've been able to do so. And they fought through a lot to get here, but this is the kind of Lipscomb team that we're used to seeing.
So Lipscomb gets the win 4-1. Your goal scorers for the Bisons, Molly Grant led things off. She was assisted by Haley Williams about 5 minutes into the game. Then Haley Williams got a goal of her own in the second half. Sky Bond then made it a 3-0 game, assisted by Grace Oliver. Jacksonville State did get a goal off of a penalty kick by Kylie Wells, but then Lipscomb finished it off the scoring tonight as Christy Jones gets a penalty kick in the 87th minute, and Lipscomb wins it over Jacksonville State 4-1. So for Erica Plunkett, I'm Justin Seaman saying so long from Nashville. Your final score, Lipscomb wins it 4-1 over Jacksonville State. Next action for the Bisons Sunday afternoon. Come on out to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex if you're in town, or catch us on YouTube. Lipscomb will be playing against North Alabama. That's a 1 o'clock start. Final score here in Nashville, Lipscomb a winner.